I did a SCR train tier list a couple of days ago, and a lot of people told me that I should make one on the SCR stations tier list maker thing, which I could only find one. So we're going to pretty much do, do this one. So let's go and do it. Start off with Airport Terminal 2. No, this is Airport Terminal 1. I'll put it in a map. Same with Terminal 2. And because the station is modern and it's alright, it's just it's lacking some detail in some areas. And there's a lot of areas where it could just be improved a lot more. But with Terminal 3, it's going down in terrible. We can all understand why. It just does not. The color scheme isn't good, the materials used isn't good, and the overall design of the station isn't good. So that's going and is going to stay in terrible. Angel Pass in 1.7, they have upgraded it. And I just say that right now I put it as a worst recently renovated station. It's gonna go in meh, for the time being, just because it's not necessarily the most detailed or the most fantastic station on the network. It's just isn't really that, nice to. It's not really appealing. Going to the next one, let's just see what this one is. It's Ashland Park. Um, I think Ashland Park will just go in bad. I think with waterline stations, Ashland Park, it needs more scenery around it. I quite like the staggered platform design, but it's not really appealing to the eye. With the scenery, it's just in a field, and where if you could actually add an actual part and buildings, it would be really cool. Next up, I think this is Beverly. I just need to check. Let's just. No, that is Bewley Park. Now, going over to version 1.7, Bewley Park is a good station. It's not my favorite station overall. There are other stations that I think are better. But in terms of the design and the overall aesthetic of the station, I think good is a fair rating for it. Benton Bridge, I'm gonna put in good as well. Like the exterior is amazing on the new 1.7 version of it. It's just some areas of the interior and the station itself on the platforms. The surrounding area just lacks in some areas, but it's a decent station and I do really like it. It's just the stuff that you don't really see immediately sort of hurts it. Going over with Benton. Benton would have been terrible pre 1.7, but with the new upgrade, I'm putting it in brilliant. I just overall love the design of Benton, and I feel like the station overall is it's of course everyone's favorite station, but yeah. Barley coming up next. I'm going to put this in. It's a good station, but I think the exterior, like not the exterior, but the station building, um, it does need other stuff within it. But the platforms itself and the actual station, it is really nice, and it is nice to go through it and walk through and stuff. And with Bonin, it's the same thing. Like I like the Reading-based design. It's just a lot of the design on the inside. It's just needs some more scenery within it, like an information desk and like maybe some shops within them. It would put them in brilliant, but for now it's staying good. Ashland Park, not Ashland Park, Cambridge Street Parkway, is another fairly decent. Just kidding. It's terrible. Probably due to the fact that it's just that classic version 1.0 design. You know, the early days of SCR, it did show, a lot of the stations were designed in that way. And I used to really like the station, and I do like the entrance area, but everything else, it's not that nice, to be honest. City Hospital, it's a mess station due to the having it in the proximity of like Stepford. You'd expect it to be detailed like, Beachley, Stepford Central, Stepford East, and stuff. It's not really the most properly designed, and I think like the walls and the overall area around it is just it's not the best station overall, but it's about a meh. Connolly, it's gonna be another mess station. It could be put in good if the outer building did actually have more like design to it, and like the inside as well. Also needs a bit of interior, but it's another overall good station. And Coxley, it's a good station, not the best overall. Um, but the like the entrance thing is something that I do enjoy looking at in game. It's just the other areas of it isn't that good. East Beverly is going in brilliant. I absolutely adore the new East Beverly. It's just got a nice little humble suburban countryside greenbeltish thing. Like you just can't not love East Beverly's design, which is why it's over in brilliant. Now with Eden Key, I'm gonna put it in good. The design of it's a nice to have an overwater station, but it does need some upgrading to it. Have it more like Blackfriars. Um, where it's got more than just the station itself. But other than that, it's a good station that I do quite enjoy going through. Now, Edgemead, it's going in bad. Probably due to the fact that it needs a lot more to it. Having the like, it's a nice little. If I can say it properly, it's like a Pennines. Like, that's my interpretation of it. I see it as a nice little mid Pennine station. Just before going into a tunnel under some form of hill. But Edgemead, it would be a lot better if it just had more detail within it. But as it's not been upgraded in a while, and I do think it would need a new update to it. Ellesmere Junction, no argument against it. I'm not sure how it went through the entire Morganstown branch being completely overhauled, but then they just kept Ellesmere Junction as it is. It needs so much redone with it. Everything about the station just needs to be changed immediately. But yeah. Now what's this one down here? It's Ellesmere Pond, I think. Ellesmere Pond. I think it's Ellesmere Pond. It's even New Harrow or Ellesmere Pond. I'm just gonna get and try and see it. I mean, there's like, oh yeah, it would be Ellesmere Pond because there's just Ellesmere Junction. But Ellesmere Pond, it's going in good. I quite like the suburban feel to it. It's just the station itself just needs a bit more to it. Same with Faraday Road, it's like in between Ellesmere Junction being a nice suburban station, but it's like what is it? Cambridge Street Parkway, where a lot of the scenery inside the station, just like at the station itself, needs more um what is it? Design to it. Now where's the station over here? Let's go down and check it. Okay, this one's actually fairly hard to do. You know what, let's just skip it. There's no way that I can depict what that is. But financial quarter, same as Eden Key. Nice little Blackfriars East station where it's above the water. Yeah, I think it's better than Eden Key. It just also needs a bit of extra design to it, like a bit of shops on the interior. W.H. Smith or something. Other than that, it would be cool. Greenslade is in brilliant. As per 1.7.1, the update then. I think it would have been a lot better to have Greenslade looks a lot better nowadays, and it is really nice to have a good view of the station and a good station design. Hampton Hargate, I feel like I've got mixed opinions on it. I don't really like how they turned it into like a town centre station into a rural countryside station in 1.7. But I do like the overall design of it, but it's going in meh. Horton Rake, that's going in good. Mainly due to the fact that it's a nice little quaint countryside village. um, but it is really nice with the level crossing and stuff. James Street is going terrible. I really want the James Street extension to come in 1.8, and that's why I would vote for it to have the extension, but mainly because it lacks a lot of areas with scenery. It just doesn't look very nice of a station. Whereas Leighton City isn't brilliant. It's one of those stations where it hasn't been changed, but it doesn't need to be changed. I'm a big fan of like the idea of City Thameslink being inside of a building and having a station of SCR based off of that. It is really nice to see. The station get some recognition, and the overall just like design of it, it's on point. Same with Airport West, which would be, I'm not sure if it is on there. Let me just check. Stratford. Oh yeah, there. They've not been changed that much in a while. I mean, Leighton City has had a major upgrade in 1.5, I think, but it's mainly just Airport Parkway, not Airport Parkway, Airport West, but in Leighton. But overall, it's a good station. Stratford Road is going in bad. I like having an Oxford Road-based station. The station's fairly underrated. It's just it lacks detail. I think just putting more effort into the interior and the exterior overall to make it more look like its counterpart would be really cool. But I'd like to see like less real life based stations, just because it is fairly better when the entire thing's just unique, or the stations are unique and stuff like that. And the controversial naming of Klin by the Sea, I like to call it Klin, others call it Lynn. Now I'm not sure what to rate it here, because we all know from the sneak peek that Klin is getting upgraded in the next update. It's just I'm not sure whether or not to put it or not. Now I've not really seen much, but from the sneak peek image, it would go in brilliant. Just currently it would be a meh station, Clean by the Sea. As the outside looks really good, as just the interior is a bit empty. Overall a good station in my opinion. What's this here? Down here is... I think that's Millcastle Racecourse. What is that Millcastle Racecourse? I think it is. Anyway, Millcastle Racecourse. It's going to meh. You can't really formulate opinions of Millcastle Racecourse. As it's not the most detailed station on the entire network. So it's going to meh. Same with Millcastle. In fact, Millcastle is going to go in bad. Because they tried to make a modern station, but they failed. Which is a bit upsetting to see such a great station not be so great. What's this here? Morganstown Docks. You see, Morganstown Docks probably would be... It's between meh and bad. I think it's gonna go in bad because, you know, I quite like the little dockside station idea. It's just needs a bit more detail to it and the surrounding like area. Like I like the little docks that were added to it. It just needs like a car park for it, a bit of huts, and then the station itself just needs more stuff to it. Which is, other than that, it's a station. It's not meh. It's worse than meh, but yeah. Now Morganstown, it's going right up and brilliant. You know, I've said it so many times about Morganstown, but the new updated Morganstown, it made me gain respect for Morganstown because I used to absolutely hate Morganstown with a passion. And just seeing Morganstown actually look nice, it's amazing. Now New Harrow's gonna go in good. You know, as of 1.7, they added the what is it, the little shops about it, like the Market Street. And I do think that having that, it just creates like a nice little lively atmosphere, which would be good for more stations to have. It's just, it would be putting brilliant if that little station block building had more. It had like an interior with like a little ticket office. That would put it in brilliant as well. Now Newry Harbour, gonna put it in meh. Same with Newry. Good stations, and I love the design of them. A nice little quaint little seasidey town, but it just needs a bit more detail to it. North Shore, of course, we all know that North Shore is the best station in game, as we all understand it. As per me, literally going on about it on streams. North Shore's just perfect. I loved the overall design of it. Like, I know that it's based off a station. It's just the way that they did it and pulled it off was amazing. Paul Benton's gonna go and meh. For the same reason of Newry Harbour. Rocket Parade's gonna be in good. I quite like the nice little, you know, local, city centre-ish station. St. Helens Bridge is gonna go in good as well. You know, I quite like the modern design. It just needs more to, you know, the inside. And I know that there are some shops inside of it. It just needs a bit more detail to it because it currently just looks like an airport. Starry Lock's gonna go into brilliant. Love the old countryside, seaside-ish station. Proper British. You know, it just fits the theme, and it's a lovely station overall. And they pretty much perfected it on the Clin branch. Stepford Airport Parkway and Stepford Airport Central, both gonna go into terrible. As you could probably tell, it's not the best looking. The design of it Just very bland. But yeah. Stepford Central is going to go in brilliant though. Amazing station. Overall, it's just, well, not that good in terms of, stations. Stepford East, absolutely love it. London Bridge is absolutely an amazing station, and I do want to visit it. And there are some areas that could be improved, um, like some more shops. I think it might have some shops. Yeah, they do have shops, I'm pretty sure, on the inside. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah, it's just a really nice and modern station, and I absolutely love it. Stepford High Street, it's gonna go into good. I can't really think of any improvements to it. It's just there are some areas that do need upgrading to it. It's an overall a fairly decent station. Stepford USC, on top of that. Been to so many trainings in my life that I feel like yards and stuff, they always tell you to go to Stepford UFC. And, I've noticed the little imperfections of the station. So it's just gone down to meh. Because there's not really been. No, it's a bit not that good, to be honest. Not the best in terms of stations. No, what station is this? I'm not able to even depict what this one is. Oh, Stepford Victoria. Love the Charing Cross in SCR. Just needs a bit more detail to it. But yeah, Water Newton, got to go and brilliant. The new station looks absolutely mwah. I just love it. On top of that. Now, whatever, this is West Benton. It's gonna go on there, as for most waterline stations. I like some scenery, but I like the concept of a island platform station. Sort of reminds me of South Kenton on the London Underground. Next one is Wester Coast. Absolutely brilliant. Love the entire viaduct and the little. It just makes a pleasant town, and overall, it's just really, really nice to. Yeah. West Wyvern, wish I could say the same. It's a bad station. In terms of detail, it's nice and old. It's not the most detailed in the world, and there's a lot of imperfections within the station. Whitefield Lido is a good station. Really like it. Overall, really nice station. In Whitefield itself, it's similar to Connolly, but it's a bit better. A lot more detailed, but yeah. Whitney Green over here. It's overall really it's a station, not the best overall, but yeah, I just put a meh. Now I only just realised that this is Famer, but I couldn't notice it within the signs. Famer is another meh station, needs a bit more detail to it. And finally, Woodhead Lane. I'm sorry, but Woodhead Lane, I don't like the two different materials on the platforms. And the footbridge just. We need to get rid of the footbridge and use a level crossing instead. It's just not pleasant to have a massive footbridge in such a small station. And just make the platforms the same, like, colour slash material. And remove the footbridge, and that would just make it a good station. But yeah, that's it for it. If you did enjoy it, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. This took way too long, and goodbye.